Hello, people of YouTube land. Hello to those that are part of the Cringe Crew community Discord and the people who follow Ted and I on Twitch. And hello to whomever is listening to this on Spotify or wherever else we decide to put this on. I am Traductus.
And I'm Ted.
And this is the Cringe Crew Gaming Movie Review Podcast, where we take a director's filmography and review each movie one by one and go over the background info of it and talk about what we like and dislike about the movie. And as you can see, we are covering Sam Raimi's filmography, and today we are covering his third film, Crimewave. All right. Released April 18th, 1985, with a budget of $2.5 million. Crimewave, despite being co-written by the Coen brothers, was a box office bomb, making only $5,101.
Wow.
That's fucking... The film itself came to be after Sam Raimi's friend, actor Bruce Campbell, got done acting in the Coen brothers film Blood Simple. And since Raimi wanted to work with Bruce again on another film, Campbell suggested a script written by the Coen brothers. Raimi was hesitant at first, due to the fact, although that he worked with Joel Coen before in the past, who served as an editor on The Evil Dead. He was unsure of Ethan's knowledge of film due to the fact that prior to Blood Simple, Ethan was just an accountant. Despite this, Bruce Campbell was able to convince Raimi to take on the project, a decision that Sam Raimi, the Coens, and Bruce Campbell himself would later regret. Raimi was able to get Columbia Pictures to produce the film and was promised full artistic control of the movie. However, due to Raimi underestimating the budget, due to forgetting about union fees and regulations, the movie went way over budget, and the studio then took over the entire film, took over complete control. The first example of studio meddling was the studio refusing to cast Bruce Campbell in the lead role, which led to Campbell being cast as Ronaldo the heel, and the character ended up getting a increased amount of screen time in order to make up for Bruce Campbell not getting the lead role. Secondly, the studio also demanded several rewrites to the script and fought constantly with Raimi on budget, and also then simultaneously rejecting cost-saving measures such as reusing main actors to fill in roles as background characters, which Raimi would refer to as shemping. The biggest offense that the studio made, though, was having complete and total control over the editing process, keeping Raimi's involvement with the final cut minimal at best, which resulted into a mess of a movie, which we'll go into casting. We have Louise Lasser as Helena Trend. She's known for being Mary Hartman in the soap opera satire Mary Hartman. We have Paul L. Smith as Farron Crush. He is known for playing Bluto in the Robin Williams Popeye movie. Brian Howard James as Arthur Cottish. He's known for his roles in 48 Hours, Blade Runner, Heat, The Player, The Fifth Element. We have Sherry J. Wilson as Nancy. She's known for her role in Walker, Texas Ranger. She plays Alex Cahill Walker. And we have Edward R. Pressman as Ernest Trend. We already went over Bruce Campbell. Reed Birney as Victor Ajax. We have Antonio Fargas as a blind man. He played Huggy Bear in the Starsky and Hutch TV series. And for a bit part, we have Frances McDormand as a nun. So that's... There's other people in here that have that are on here that don't necessarily matter, just because nothing really matters a whole lot when it comes to casting. That being said, studio meddling wasn't the only issue during filming. Some weird occurrences also happened, which involved a couple actors, which disrupted filming, including Louise Lasser having a huge cocaine problem and which became extremely apparent when she fired her makeup artist and then demanded that she did her own makeup, which resulted her looking terrible and very unhinged, with Sam Raimi commenting as clown makeup. And also, actor Brian James trashed his hotel room and gave the explanation that his hotel room was haunted and was attempted to conduct a exorcism. That, and also during shooting, a weird occurrence happened for a scene where they had to shoot in a river. The time frame that they ended up having to shoot it was during the winter, and the river was frozen, so they had to dynamite the river for the river to be used. Needless to say, Raimi, Campbell, and the Coen brothers have all mentioned their distaste for this film, with the Coen brothers deciding afterwards to direct all of their screenplays themselves, and this occurred until the year 2012, where they had someone else direct one of their screenplays. And that being said, Raimi and the Coens remained friends afterwards, and actually used various ideas from Crimewave into later films such as Evil Dead 2, Spider-Man, and also the Hudsucker Proxy. Whew! All right, now we can get into likes and dislikes.
Plot.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Yeah. So, this movie's kind of a fucking acid trip of a whodunit. Except the only thing that you ever know is who done it. Basically, we find the main character in an electric chair about to be executed for a crime he didn't commit, and then it takes you through this fucking hour-long backstory of how he definitely didn't do it, and you could tell the entire time. And then it just zooms back to, yeah, but you're already in the chair, fuck it. And then it's a bunch of nuns, including the other female lead, like, saving his life. It's a fucking acid trip of a whodunit, okay? That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, more or less. And I don't know if, like, how much of that had to do with Raimi or the studio just kind of fucking with the movie to me, because it's kind of an incoherent film.
It's incoherent. We're just jumping right into dislikes here, to be honest with you, because we're gonna flow. I look. You ever watched like a shitty kids cartoon and this terrible fucking plot happens and they're like, but it was all a dream, and then everything's fucking okay? They built that into their own movie, like, kind of on purpose, right? They could have resolved that, like, backwards, back and forth, jumping around the acid trip of a flashback, right? By just, okay, tell the story first, and then show that he's in the chair for kidnapping her, and just add an extra fun, stupid twist at the end, right? Like, they don't need to jump you back in time for him to explain the story. They can just show you the story. When the woman fucking disappears at the end of what tale he's telling, right? Like, then they could just, all right, well, you're wanted for her murder. She vanished, so she must be dead in the river somewhere, and you're the only one there. Like, it's really fucking dumb that they needed to put the beginning in there to make the end even stupider.
Yeah, yes, you. God, scuffed.
I love this podcast. And moving forward with dislikes, the dub is fucking awful.
Oh my god, I don't. And the thing is, these actors speak English.
Most of them are,
and these are not like obscure actors. These are, they're actors that they're not famous, but you would recognize when you see them.
The worst part of the whole thing is that they're dubbing their own voices over top of a character, right? Which just tells me it's late. There's other ones that aren't. It's just lazy sound capture, right? It's like, we didn't really want to mic the street and get rid of the background noise, so just talk over this and we'll figure it out. Like, it's really fucking dumb.
And the dubbing on, like, the two villains is oh my god, the voices are freaking annoying as shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you know that they don't sound like that.
Yeah. My only other major dislike is the main character's a fucking goofball.
Oh my. he's obnoxious.
We'll get into the style of comedy later, because I've genuinely sat on the side of the fence that I think it's a positive, right? But I think despite the corny comedy that goes into this, I think the main character is just like, you don't believe it. He's just absolutely fucking goofy. And it's supposed to be in a super endearing way that makes you think nice things about this character, but like, dude,
it comes off as annoying, and you're just like, fuck this guy.
I'm the kind of nerd that would get bullied in high school, and I would have bullied this guy. You know what I mean? like he's just a fucking dork, and he's not dislikable. He's not like unkind. There's no negative traits, and that's kind of the fucking problem. Like, he's just a dork, man.
And he's so much of a dork that, spoiler alert, he gets saved at the very end, but there's like a joke where it's like the nuns like the governor goes, it's like, hey, can these nuns, it's like, hey, nuns, can you, like, you know, vouch for this lady? And they can't speak because they took a vow of silence. And then it pops up like hero executed, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. And then it goes, almost, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's just, yeah, it's just kind of dumb. What else you got for dislikes, Stallman? Because that's majority of my list.
I mean, you basically, my dislikes are like the sound, like it's mainly the dubbing, and also like some of like the really like, and the main character. That's basically what I have. And kind of a wasted, like, Bruce Campbell performance.
Wasted's a weird word. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just don't know if it's a waste when the movie was just bad. Like, it wasn't a performance waste. I get it, but I don't know that I'd take it that far. As for likes, then, if we're just gonna jump into those, because this list is pretty short.
A lot of the gags are actually pretty good.
If you're a fan of Airplane, right? Airplane's a great movie. They've got jokes left, right, and sideways. 95% of them are throwaways, and they don't get in their own way, right? And this kind of like attempted to do that, right? I don't think it executed it to the same level of Airplane. Like, don't go in looking for the funniest movie you've ever fucking seen, right? But like, man, the jokes are just kind of like stupid good. Like, they're just they're just dumb, and in a way that you can like enjoy. Don't go in looking for a crime movie. Don't go in looking for anything serious or a plot line. If you just go in to have like a really cheap laugh, this is all right.
Yeah, I'd say like some of my favorite ones is like the governor going, "Am I too late?" And he's just like, "I didn't want to miss this."
Right. It's the chain of jokes. Like, even when they're expected, they're still kind of funny. In the execution scene at the end, he explains his story. The executioner's like, "Well, that sucks." And then he just goes to pull the switch, right? And then,
what's even better is like, oh, I got 5 more minutes. And then the executioner just like changes the clock.
I have 5 minutes when you know the woman is going to come and save the day. So he just pushes the clock forward. And then the nuns show up, and none of them can talk to vouch for the story. And then the governor shows up to put an end to it. And then he's just pulls out a bucket of fucking popcorn and a lawn chair, and he's there to watch too. Like, it's just, it's perfectly expected. It's perfectly stupid. It jokes on itself. It's a goofy movie, and the comedy's endearing.
And also the chase scene where where one of the fucking bad guys is chasing the old lady, and then she's going through like this room that's just nothing but doors, and she keeps closing the door, and he keeps running through each door.
Yeah.
There's certain things like that. I also think the special effects in this are actually pretty good, especially like the electrocution, like freaking I don't know if it's like a gun or something, but it's like some sort of like electrocution taser thing that one of the bad guys uses. Like, the effects on that are pretty freaking cool.
It's not bad. And the
I also love how the bad guys are like exterminators, but they're also hitmen, and their tagline is "We kill anything."
Yeah. There's just a bunch of dumb throwaway humor, and like, while we could go down the list of our favorite shit, like it's the blanket here is just corny, dumb fucking humor.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth a watch. It's not like, you know, It's Murder, where it's like we were upset that we watched it.
Yeah. It's worth a watch exactly one time. Exactly once. All right. There's not a whole lot to give this movie because it is just a bunch of corny jokes in a row. So I guess let's just throw it into rankings. What you got, dude?
Obviously between Evil Dead and It's Murder. Like, it's not even close to being as good as Evil Dead.
I'm in the same boat. I think,
but it's a miles away from It's Murder.
I think this is like very solidly third, and it's not close in either direction. I think that by the end of this podcast, we'll have this rated in a different place.
Second.
Yeah, sorry. Three of them. It is in the middle of the 3 second. Yes, I can fucking count. I think that like it's not nearly as good or as well made or as thought out of a movie as Evil Dead is, and it's not nearly as fucking bad as It's Murder. So I think pretty confidently second.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, like I said, short movie, real easy to get to the 2 bullet points we both had. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you here next week for Evil Dead 2. In the meantime, you can find the rest of our content on YouTube. Check out other series and other directors. You can see a whole bunch of other gaming content. If you're interested in our own individual content, you can check us both out on Twitch. Stallman at Traductus, myself at Ted Green Eagles. And that'll do it for this one. See you next week.
See ya.